Hey guys, 3D Hero here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 loadout video where I bring new and practical loadouts for myself every once a week. Today's loadout is a build that I used a lot for in Mayhem that focuses on spamming opponents with flash grenades and hitting them when they least expect it, which can lead to many funny outcomes. Plus, I also decided to go with a dual SMG setup just for the heck of it as well. Today's build, I like to call this the SWAT build, for the amount of flashbangs and close quarter fights you're going to get yourself into. Now, just to say, this build only tends to work well in Mayhem, as your grenades recharge really quickly compared to playing this in normal Crucible. And heavy spawns a lot more often, so you can get your grenade launcher grenades quite easily. So I recommend you try this build out in Mayhem only. But if you want to try this out in normal Crucible, then it's still possible to do. But one thing you would need to remember is that your grenades recharge much slower than usual. Plus, you'll probably be fighting for the heavy more often between your teammates than usual. But this is still a viable build nonetheless. Just not that viable in normal Crucible. Your build consists of blinding players with your flashbang grenades or flashbang grenade launcher, and then finish them off with your dual SMG loadout, which will require you to get up close to the players, but that should be fine as long as they're blind. Your weapons for the build are the following. Your primary will be the Atlanta D SMG, which is kind of like the Sondok C in anti-OPT, but has a bit more stability compared to the two, which makes it great for getting in quick kills in the Crucible, but has less range compared to the other two. So you can't expect to win most fights in medium engagements like the Sondok C and anti-OPT can at best. So if that is the case and you're someone that likes to get in, be aggressive, but also have something to cover you for medium ranges as well, then you do have the Sondok C and the anti-OPT to go with as well. Your secondary can be a decision of your own, as although I did go with a Renaissance 42, a secondary SMG with a 900 RPM built into it, on most maps having dual SMGs won't always work in your favour, as most players tend to stick back and engage at longer fights, which can be a problem for you as your build focuses on getting in close as possible while blinding them, and in most cases that won't always be the case. So I advise you to go with a scout rifle that is great for taking on players that want to sit back and not push up, something like the Tombushore scout rifle or the Manan SR4 scout rifle. Your power will be of course the Flash and Thunder grenade launcher with the flash perk active. One thing I must say about the flash grenade perk is that it's not designed for one shot on players, just blinding them. And in most cases, this can be hard as well, as you have to time your explosions very well for the full effect to work. You're going to need to practice a lot if you want this to be effective, as it's not a simple grenade launcher just to pick up and use in the Crucible. Your armor set is the following. Your helmet will be the shelter in place with an impact mod. Your gauntlets will be the Sovereign Gauntlet, which you can get from the faction value New Monarchy. If not, you can always get with the correct Type 2 gauntlets, as they look generally the same. Also, I decided to add a energy counterbalance mod to them as well to help with my secondary weapon. Your chest will be a shelter in place with the Arc Ordnance mod. Your legs will be the Peacekeepers with the Arcness Ordnance mod. And your title mark will be the Noble Consul mark with a kinetic munition loader. Your whole armor set now will give you a 275 in overall armor stats. And I also decided to go with a Xeno Silver shader for a very bright and outstanding look for the set. One thing I must say about this loadout is that using this in Mayhem is quite a challenge at times, since even if you hit someone with a flashbang grenade, it always won't be to the point of where they're fully blind. Sometimes, if the grenade goes off by a slight amount, then they'll just be partially blind rather than fully blind, which can make the build very hard to use against players that are mobile all the time, like Titans or the Hunters. However, you can still make good use of this, as once they are blind, either fully or not, they can't use a radar for a few seconds. So you can make good use of this to either flank, move up, or escape depending on your situation. In other encounters though, if you do manage to land a direct hit with your flashbang grenades or your grenade flashbang nades, then it can lead to a very ridiculous encounter with the blind player, doing their utmost best to jump and avoid their deaths. To which sadly they find out they can't generally escape, since by the time they realise what's happened, they'll be already dead. And also, since you recover your Titan flash grenades at a ridiculous speed, and if you choose the code or the Earthshaker as well to get double grenades, it'll be blinding the entirety of the team for the whole game. And in most cases, you'll probably be blinding yourself as well. So imagine yourself in this situation. You're in this situation where there's another enemy around the corner, you throw your flash grenade in that corner and it's a direct hit, fully blinding them. However, it also blinds you as well and you don't generally know where they are, and you know it only lasts for a few seconds. With your grenade launcher and your grenades, you could spam them with more flashbangs to the point of where they can't recover whatsoever. That's generally how you can play it out. I've also went with a dual SMG setup as well, as I thought this would work well, as once you blind others, you can move in and finish the job quickly and accurately, plus the combination of switching in and out for your other SMG works very well in in fast-paced situations, since with 2 SMGs and your peacekeepers, you don't ever have to worry about reloading each weapon, since the weapon will automatically reload it every time you switch. And this makes it really easy for you, because you can basically just move in and just keep on killing, keep on switching, and your weapons will automatically keep reloading. However, this is kind of 50-50 at times, as it doesn't always work. And like I said, in game modes such as Mayhem, most players may actually just sit back and not actually, engage in close to medium range engagements. Most will engage at longer range distance, which kind of puts you at a disadvantage. This is why you have to play your game out right. If you play it right, you can do well with this build. If you don't, then it's going to be kind of hard for you to make use of 2 dual SMGs. Now lastly, I just want to talk about the Flash and Thunder grenade launcher and the FlashBang perk. This weapon here is very underused by a lot of players, simply for the fact that the weapon comes with a 1 in a round in a magazine, rather than multiple. So you have to reload after every shot, and it's a bounce round type of launcher. So you have to fire it and make sure you detonate it at the right moment. Which in the case of a FlashBang grenade perk that reduces its blast radius by a lot, it means you really have to time it or else it will go to waste. But the thing is with this weapon is that although I described the battle size about the weapon, it's actually fun and usable against those that have never gone up against such a weapon. Which means you can make good use of it in the Crucible, since not many people have ever gone up against FlashBang builds, such as this. Which also means you can practice and learn when to time it against players, so you can benefit from the full effect. I honestly recommend you guys to go ahead and actually try out the Flash and Thunder grenade launcher, because it does do good. It can wipe out players easily, whether you go with the concussion rounds or whether you go with the FlashBang rounds. They are good, you just have to practice with it. For me, it took me maybe, say 5-6 games to fully understand how to fully use it. It's literally not a grenade launcher that you just want to use in PvE. It's one that you can actually use in PvP a lot, and you can use it effectively. And if you've got a whole team using this, you can imagine how well that's going to go. Also, the weapon is not designed to outright kill players, although you can if you land a direct hit with it, and if they're either low on health or really low resilience. But it's more designed to maim them, so they can't fight back, and you can move in for the kill, since players tend to either stick in groups or move on their own. This also leaves you a great opportunity to make use of the grenade launcher and outright stop their movements for a brief while. Bonus points if you manage to use it effectively against a large group of players, and let your teammates know they're blind so they can move in and mop up from there. So overall, the build was great to use in Mayhem every now and then, if I wasn't blinding myself with my own nates. But it was an interesting build nonetheless, as I tried something new and non-meta for once. I do have a few other Mayhem builds in the work as well, but for the time being, I'm just gonna try to take it slow and see what generally works in the Crucible for the time being. So, that is the end of my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then by means leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. If you didn't, then by means leave a dislike. I understand, I'll look back over the video, and I'll see what I need to improve on in the near future. So once again guys, thank you all for watching, and I do hope to see you again soon.